in the bank, drop a smile in a flash, but they still gotta report.
Greetings, everyone. This is Arletta coming live and direct from Arletta Unleashed. And, man, let me go ahead and get started. This is actually a very challenging topic for me, and I've been kind of dreading even getting started with it, but let's dive right into it. The title today is called I'm Too Fat. And what this was prompted by was, I think I had told y'all before in my last post that I've been doing this book, a course in weight loss by Marianne Williamson. And it's just an awesome, phenomenal book. But every day you have lessons. And in this particular day, lesson 9, you have these lessons. The title of the chapter is called Inhabiting Your Body. And what she does is have you go through these exercises. And I'm not going to really go into a lot of detail because for any of you who are interested, I do suggest you check out the book. But she has you go and identify what she calls sick thoughts that we have concerning our body. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I can finally acknowledge and admit that regardless of how it may appear to outside people, I have some major issues with my body. I have some interesting relationships with food and so on and so forth. And if I were to share my experiences, they wouldn't seem too crazy or too abnormal, but they're not healthy, they're not positive, they're not affirming. And this whole process of becoming unleashed, one of the biggest challenges that women in particular have is relationship to our bodies, our relationship to food, and how that relates to all other aspects of our life, especially in this culture. So I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm really tired of hating my body, hating how I look, constantly being worried about weight, constantly being worried about exercising, constantly being worried about how I eat and what I eat and how I look. And every time I look in the mirror, be pretty much disgusted on some level or another about some aspect of my body, regardless of how big or how small I am. I don't know about y'all, but one of my pet peeves are my thighs. And ever since I was, I don't know, started getting some, which was about 10, every time I look at my thighs, I curse them, and I hate them, and I don't like them, and I disassociate from them, and I try to avoid them, and every time I look in the mirror, I recoil from how they look, and I decided that I want to be able to look in the mirror and either not notice them or like what I see for the first time in my 36 years. So that's the whole point. So with this particular exercise, what she had you do is identify a sick thought and where it started, where it originated from, what's the story around it, and what was your conclusion. And there's so much, but I'm going to share one, and I'm actually going to post what I typed and wrote about it. But this particular sick thought centered around my being born and raised Muslim. And ever since I was like 3 or 4 years old, we had to do a number of things. First, we had to dress modestly, but this is not just modest. Y'all don't understand the details that you have to go into in order to dress modest. So not only did you have to cover your hair, but it was a matter of wearing long sleeves because you had to wear some all the way to the wrist. It was a matter of covering your neck. Depending on what school of thought you practice, it was a matter of covering your ears. It was a matter of, especially for black folks, since we were so obsessed with our ass and our hips and we have more than other people, was a matter of wearing shirts that were long enough to cover your ass and your hips and your thighs. You couldn't wear pants that were too tight because you couldn't show the shape of your leg. And you had to wear pants all the way down to the feet in regards to the weather or what was going on. You had to wear loose-fitting clothes. You couldn't wear tailored clothes or contour clothes or anything that showed your figure. And what I concluded from that was, if I didn't dress modestly, God wouldn't love me. my parents wouldn't love me, and the Muslim community wouldn't love me. And so therefore, because my body had to be hidden in order for me to be loved, then it was something that was bad and evil. And my subconscious thought was, because my body inherently was bad and evil, it had to be punished. And punished for not being taken care of, punished for not eating healthy, punished for not exercising, and so on and so forth. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And this is just an example, because ideas become conscious so we can release these thoughts. So what I want you to do is to see. You may not have any, but I seriously doubt it. Identify one sick thought, something that really affects you and how you feel about your body, that you want to let go of, where it came from, how it originated. Write that down. And then I'll follow up tomorrow with the exercise that you can go through to help release it. Because, y'all, it's time. It's time for us to love and be our beautiful, gorgeous, fabulous selves. And that concludes this post. Just as I conclude, one of the things we have to do in this book is find an ideal body type that we really like and post our face on it. And for actually a large period of my life, my body was pretty off the hook, even though I never saw it. But I am a big fan of Serena Williams, right? And so I always had this thing. You know how us sisters, we got a big ass and hips, and we have the back of our thighs, right under our ass, and how it's kind of a little darker than other skin, and the skin may not be so smooth and stuff. And here's this fine ass sister with all this muscle tone, this banging ass body. And I saw a picture, and she had the same thing I had, that I've been tripping on all these years, saying I want to get rid of. I don't know how I would have. And for the first time, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to be comfortable in a bathing suit, and I can wear a bikini, and I look good in it. And so on that note, I'm going to close. So what y'all think about that? Anyway, y'all take care. Love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. I want to know what your sick thought is, and I'll share with you mine and how I'm going to let go of it. Until then, peace.